Hello everybody, and I hope you're having a fantastic day. And in this video, I like to go over just sort of like help narrow down, try to help fix your mind when they come out with all these spawns at once, because all I've been doing is pretty much reviewing the spawns, and that's it. And I know when you come to my video, I know you kind of like expect to save as much gems and really prosper as much as possible. So definitely you want to. It varies for person to person. So let's actually get into this, because they came out with so many spawns at once. I told you guys that the Divine Grace spawn was good, but I didn't mention it was pay to win. If it's a treasure or a Divine Grace, you have to hear me say out of my mouth. I'm going to make sure I say this as much as possible. There will be small times, small windows where I just don't have enough time. I'm being pushed to do something else besides YouTube. I'm being forced out of the video that I'm trying to make for you guys ASAP and stuff like that. So usually it's not a problem, but every once in a while I'll forget to mention that it's pay to win. Unless I say it out of my mouth, unless it comes directly out of my mouth, you hear me say, hey, this treasure spawn for once in a lifetime is actually free to play. They will always remain pay to win. They will always remain pay to win unless you hear me say it out of my mouth. If you don't hear me say it at all, it is a pay to win spawn. Okay, so moving on from there, they got the class spawn, they got the step up, they got the monster, they got the special, and it's just not fair. They got too many good spawns at once. So here's how I would handle it if I were you. Okay, so like I said, they got the class. First of all, when it comes to the class, I've been getting a lot of comments that 32s are the most common thing within here, not even 33s. And I pretty much said in my previous videos, 32s and 33s should have the highest chance. Looks like I was a bit wrong about that. 32s seem to have the highest chance, even though there's a crap ton of 33s in there. But I was right about 34s, 35s having the lowest chance. All I knew is some people did the step up spawn before. I managed to get 133, a couple 32, well, not a couple 32s. I only managed to do it like 4 times total. First, when they had the 30 cost guaranteed, or plus, I did it and I got one of the lances. Then I did it when they had the 31, I think, I'm not sure, but anyways, I got one above the guaranteed cost. Other than that, I managed to get around at least the guaranteed cost of what's going on. So anyways, with this class spawn, they have 4 spawns out. Let's talk about the class spawn first. The class spawn, I don't recommend touching, because they're going to come out with the 33 cost guaranteed class spawn, unless you're just getting 35s off the bat and 34s and 33s, and you're rarely getting 32s, which probably will never happen for any of you. I mean, some of you might be this way, but for the most part, most of you will probably get crappy results from these spawns, and I just don't recommend touching them. I really don't. But there is a circumstance I'll talk about later within this vid. And next thing we have is the step up spawn. It's a 46 gem monster step up spawn. Very, very nice. And yeah. Apparently Superbia doesn't have bad rates either. There have been 2 people in my comments that says something about getting Superbia. That doesn't mean you're gonna get Superbia. Don't spawn it just for Superbia. Make sure when you're doing a step up spawn, right, you're spawning it for multiple monsters, not just one. Because if you spawn it for one monster, you're probably going to say something like, I wish I didn't spawn KYS, kill myself or whatever, and blah blah this and blah blah that. Don't ever spawn for one monster. Spawn for multiple monsters, to be fairly honest, and at least have one of the lowest costs in your want list. Like Odin. Let's say I want Odin. That's alright. It's a 33 cost. It's probably going to have the highest rates out of all the monsters. Now, you can get 34s and 35s in your first try, and it is possible, definitely, to get them in your second step up. Most people won't, but there are, let's say, about 10% of everybody who's probably viewing this could get monsters like these in their second step up. Definitely 25, 10%. It's no bigger than 25%, I guarantee you. But you know, they do have definitely push rates for the SSR monsters that are in the featured list in the second step up. So it's definitely possible to get them within there. But anyways, moving on from there, what I highly recommend doing first, overall, over anything, is the monster spawn. Monster spawn is very nice. Now, when it comes to the 31, a bit iffy. If perhaps you just loaded with gems, you got gems in your pocket, I might talk about this one later. I'm not exactly sure how it's going to go. I probably need more spawn results before I talk about it, but let me talk about it as educated as I am on the spawn already. They did change it around, so it's going to be a little different, but I'll talk about it as much as I can. There may be a few mistakes, there may be a few errors, because I don't have much experience with the new updated 30 gem spawn, but I can tell you about the rest. Okay, so definitely, the first thing you want to focus on out of everything in this list is possibly the monster spawn. If perhaps you don't have nearly any awakening orbs or ethers, what you want to do instead is you want to focus on the step up spawn over here and get those awakening orbs and get the ether for the first time half off. After the first time half off, you probably, unless you, again, you have a lot of gems to spend. If you have a lot of gems to spend, definitely you could go for the ether after the first time half off. If that's not you might want to look into the ether. You might. Ethers are kind of easy to obtain. Maybe it's not worth 15 gems because in any event that A team comes out with, this one, the cat one, pretty much almost any event that A team comes out with, they at least offer the pieces. Where if you get like 10 of them, you can make an ether. They always offer those pieces. So it really depends. And you get them from lemon cookies as well. So it really depends if you really have that resource of gems. Awakening orbs, on the other hand, are no jokes. You definitely want to go for awakening orbs if you don't have awakening orbs, because awakening orbs are very crucial and important. But anyways, moving on from there. If you got awakening orbs, you got enough awakening orbs. Like you got around, I'm not exactly sure. You got 6 or more, let's say. You definitely don't want to worry about awakening orbs. You don't got 6 or more. I mean, even if you got 6 or more, you want to worry about this. But if you ain't got 6 or more, you definitely, I highly recommend first looking at the awakening orb guarantee. Okay, so yes, I would choose the monster spawn over the step up spawn, the SSR featured gear piece, and the featured monster spawn. Don't do this one, by the way. This one has low-key low rates. It may look like this one's a better choice than the SSR gear piece, but the SSR gear piece actually has better rates. But yeah, I definitely go for the monster spawn first and foremost, unless you need those awakening orbs. Awakening orbs I go for first in the special, then I do the monster spawn. Monster spawn, reason for this being, the 70 gem one, that is guaranteed monster within potential unlocked 2 times. Now when it comes to the 30 gem, again, it's going to be iffy. It's really going to be iffy. But with the 70 gem one, it's such a shorter list. You're guaranteed a 34 or a 35 cost. Now let me tell you how sweet that is. It's going to be unlocked, potential unlocked 2 times. It's going to have 2 pots. So pretty much, it's pretty much like throwing in 2 extra 30. Like if you get a 35, it's kind of like getting 3 35 monsters and then putting 2 into one of them. That's literally how it is. Or 34s. It's literally like having 3 34 monsters. It's like trying to obtain 3 34 monsters and then 2 out of 3 of them goes into 1 monster. You don't need to go through all those rates that you would go through in the step up spawn. The step up spawn. SSR gear piece, a couple, I don't even know how many times to get 3 35s or 34 cost monsters and all that funky jazz. They allow you to have that type of luxury for 70 gems. 70 gems. This is the best spawn in the game for quick awakening material. Guaranteed. 35 and 34 costs. 34 costs is the lowest guaranteed within a 70 gem step up. Literally the worst you could get probably is Hades, Netherworld King, and Otohime. Seriously, probably the worst you could get within the spawn. Seriously. Some of these abilities are decent, some of these abilities are bad, but yeah, you get where I'm getting at. It's a lot cheaper and it's so much efficient to do this. So you definitely want to look into the 70 gem monster spawn, because this is a really nasty spawn and it's by far the best awakening material spawn in the game. You will need the orbs. So let's say you get one of these monsters and it's not your stats, but you do have a monster you can awaken it in. So let's say I spawn this, right? I spawn this. I get a 35 cost monster and it has 2 unlocked potentials. So remember, it's gonna have 2 unlocked potentials. And I want to throw it on my DJ Himiko. Let's like, I want to throw it on my DJ Himiko. So I try to awaken it on my DJ Himiko, right? Oops, wrong thing. So I go to throw it in because it's not the right stats on my DJ Himiko. DJ Himiko needs 2 awakenings. So I throw it in. It's going to cost definitely 2 orbs. for each awakening, it's going to cost orbs, unless it's the same monster. If you get the same monster, you struck gold, my dude. Like, if I were to get another Kairot, right? If I were to get a Kairot with 2 awakening pots, it would literally cost 0 orbs. But if it's not the exact same monster, it's going to cost orbs. If it has 2 awakenings and you're trying to throw it into a monster with no awakenings, it's going to cost 2 orbs. It's going to cost 2 orbs, definitely. If it has 3 awakenings and you're throwing it into a monster, it's going to cost 3 orbs. Unless they already have like 2 awakened, then it's only going to cost 2, because they can only get 2 more awakening. And what's so not? See what I'm getting at though? But yeah, if I manage to get Kairot, it's going to cost 0 orbs if I infuse it or awaken it into another Kairot. So definitely, you want to do it. It's great awakening material. Now, the second thing I would recommend is the guaranteed feature SSR gear piece, at least for the first time half off. Personally, me. Because first time half off is definitely a better discount than the step up spawn, because the step up spawn right here, for 15 gems you just have rates up, and that only applies to about 25% of us will actually get something beneficial with it. When it comes to the gear piece though, when it's first time half off, is the same gems as the rates up from the step up spawn. You get what I'm getting at? They're both 15 gems, and we all know when it comes to the SSR featured gear piece, you are guaranteed with higher rates. You're not guaranteed the monster, but you're guaranteed to have higher rates to get 35s. 35s! In the step up, they have 33 to 35s. You have such higher rates to get those 35s and 34s within the SSR feature gear piece than you do the step up. When it comes to the 30 gem one, it really all depends on rates, because once you finish the first time half off, it's going to be 30 gems for the SSR gear piece. It really all comes down to what's beneficial for you. Some people do better with the special spawn, some people do better with the step up spawn. It really all depends on what really works for you. And yeah, that's pretty much how I would handle it. Because they have so many spawns, I'm not gonna lie to you, they have 31s in here, and they are very, very scary. They have multiple 31s. They don't have just a few. In my previous video, I only saw one. My bad. They also have Trident in here. They have Uria, and they have, that's pretty much it. They only have actually 3 31s, but still, those will have the highest rates, and that's very, very scary. One of my friends done the 30 gem one, and he only got a 32 cost guaranteed, and 32 costs have good abilities. I'm gonna not lie to you, they have good abilities, but they're outdated for guild battles, coliseums, and gear score wise. Definitely. They're falling back in all those categories. Good abilities, but other than that, I can't really recommend 32 costs. So yeah, that's how I would handle the spawns that are being thrown at you. If it's not for that, I would definitely save up gems for when they come back again. These spawns are going to come back to back. They're going to come back eventually within a couple weeks. Maybe 1, maybe 2, and what's so not. They're reoccurring spawns, so you don't have to worry about them being gone forever once you spawn this. Just save up for when the next time they come out. So yeah, as a little side review, that's how I'm pretty much going to tell you how to play this game, and that's what I really recommend overall to help you narrow down all these beneficial spawns coming out at once, which is very frustrating and what's so not, to be fairly honest, and they're really just trying to drain you dry and split you up and all that funky jazz. I've had that happen before, and I don't really want that happening to you. So to really make it shorter and to really go over the review, definitely 70 gem is something you definitely want to look at. 70 gem is the first thing. If not, then it really varies between whether the awakening orb guarantee or the 70 gems is something you want to look at. If you don't have a lot of awakening orbs, definitely want to do the awakening orb. If you have a lot, definitely the monster, then the awakening orb. You're definitely going to want to stack up as many awakening orbs you can. And then we're going to talk about the guaranteed feature SSR gear piece. First time half off, you definitely want to do it before any other spawns. Definitely the third spawn I recommend. Then when it hits 30 gems, it's really up to you whether you want to do the step up. Make sure when you're doing the step up though, it's the full step up. If you're only doing it halfway, you're going to screw yourself over halfway. Make sure when you're doing this, you're doing the full step up, or you save your gems. Save your gems if you're not doing the full step up, because you're not guaranteed one of the monsters from the list unless you hit the 30 gems. So make sure you can do the full step up before you do it. It is 46 gems. So yeah, it really depends on whether you want to do the SSR feature gear piece at 30 or the step up. It all depends on your rates. I know some people who do better with the step up, and I know some people who do better with the SSR gear piece. And yeah, that's pretty much all I gotta say for this video. I hope this helped out and clear your mind for next time this happens, or perhaps you saved up and you're not sure, you're trying to decide last second. Thank you for tuning in, thank you for watching, and I hope this helped out. This is the Azrath. I'll catch you in the next video. I didn't expect that Divine Grace spawn to have an after assault. But anyways, I'm out. Peace.